Welcome back to the workshop. It's good to see you again. I think space is always a limitation, and particularly in a home workshop, space is a real limitation. So that's led me to build this, which is a combined mitre station. I had to have space for the dust extractor at the end there, the mitre saw and the dust extraction system that goes with that, a large bench, room across the bench to get big pieces of wood, and also room on the end here for my lathe to stand. So join me after the titles and I'll show you how I made it.
The first thing on the agenda is to clear the space. This paper template was handy because it's the same size as the lathe, and it gave me a sort of an appreciation of how much space it's going to take up in the shop. So this is the rough sketch of my main bench. I find it's best to start with a clean edge for these plywood boards, so they always get a bit manky on the edges where they're banged and bashed about on the trucks. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. After this I decided it was time to get this blade resharpened. And here it is, straight back from the sharpeners. I used a lot of pocket holes in this construction. I'm getting to really like this Vevor pocket hole jig, particularly after I changed the guide bushes. It's really good now. My son Thomas helped me turn all this over and get it in a position. He's very useful. There you go, job done. If you can't embarrass your kids, what fun is there in life, eh? I'm marking the back wall or central spine position for this cabinet, and that also gave me the position for the biscuits that I'm going to add. This little depth stop adjuster is how you change the setting for different sizes of biscuit. I temporarily fitted the central spine or back to the cupboard so that I could get the heights exactly right. There you go. This poor man's track saw I made a couple of years ago has been really helpful. I do, if you can't afford a track saw like I can't justify, then make one. For this particular part of the construction I found rich tea biscuits to be the best. They swell up nicely, particularly if they've been dipped in tea. If only I had a mitre saw station. So this is how far we've got so far. It's basically just a box, and it's looking okay, to be perfectly honest. And this is the lathe, as I said earlier, will sit at the end, so it doesn't encroach on the workshop too heavily. So it's all looking good at this point. One of the ply offcuts turned out to be the perfect size for a shelf. Had a twist in the batten, so I used this sash clamp to straighten it out again. Plenty of glue. I used these battens not only to support the shelf, but also I needed that extra depth to get the cabinet hinges on. I've been fiddling around, and this bench, I've moved it 500mm this way. This is the position where this saw is going to go, and there's going to be another bench across here, the front of which is the edge of this plank, and the end is where this batten is. So there's room for the dust extractor to slide in the end out of the way. I've not yet worked out how the hell I can do dust extraction, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And also, because this is going to be the cupboard under, that's going to be a bit awkward in that corner because there's lots of space underneath here that you can't easily get access to. But I can't think of another way of doing it, so there we go. Right, so the reason for shifting the bench 500mm that way, and 500mm is just shy of 20 inches, so that's 20 inches there, that way. Because now this edge is on the centre line of this workshop, so effectively half of it is woodworking and the other half will be metalworking. I will have to leave, when I get drill presses and bits and pieces on here, I'll have to leave a piece across the top here so that you can get a decent length of wood into the mitre saw. Just for completeness, this is the edge of the bench, and it projects over to about here, which is basically halfway between the two sides, so or halfway between the two ends, I should say. So let's get on with it. So this is the basic plinth. Sorry about this being out of focus. I have sent myself another sternly worded memo. You can see here just how heavy this saw is by how much it flexes this bit of 19mm thick ply. I didn't use dowels or biscuits in these panels here. Probably should have done, to be perfectly honest, but I wasn't that confident I'd get them all square and straight. I used the top to hold them in place and weighted it down with a few bits and pieces to make sure they couldn't move until they were fully dry. These are the cutouts I needed so that the saw could rotate, because it cuts at various different angles. And here is my first piece of the new dust extraction system. Hello. You may question why I'm using drain pipe for dust extraction, because I think it can build up an electrical charge with the air that's flowing through and the dust that's flowing through, and it can spark. So I have done some stuff to mitigate that, which you'll see in a little bit. But if you think that that's definitely wrong, then please let me know, because it's relatively easy to change. It wasn't until I was doing this that I realised I really need to get myself one of those Japanese style pull saws. I think this is the very first video my wife has ever been in, so thanks, sweetie. You still on the centre?
It's not moved. It's not moved. It hasn't moved a muscle.
Boy's a buffoon. Construction is coming along, as you can see. There we go. However, this piece here is going to be wide opening doors here, and that means that I can't put a vertical post to support this area of the table, the desk, and that's a bit flimsy. So I'm going to double it and put one of those in. So let's get on with that. I didn't film adding that extra piece, but you can see here that it's just in shot. This panel was going to be skinned with plywood, so it had to be the thickness of the plywood back from the front edge. I've definitely got to get myself one of those pull saws. So. So this is my static mitigation. I've put aluminium tape all the way through all of these dust extraction waste pipes in the hope that it'll dissipate some of the static charge. In electrical signal wires, it's quite common to have a drain wire which does exactly the same as I'm hoping that this alley foil does. So here we go. This is how far we've got so far. It's come along really quite nicely. This is where the dust is going to settle and be extracted from behind the mitre saw. So I put a nice big hole in it, rounded it over to make it easier for the chips to flow, And I did try it out off camera, and it does work, but it needs side hoods in order to make sure that you get all of the dust. And as you can see here, also it collects in the bottom of the tray. This is a wholemeal demonstration biscuit. So I finally got the top glued on, and I opted to use Nelly the nail gun here to put a load of pin nails in, because I thought pin nails are going to be far less obtrusive than putting screws in. So there we go, there's the mitre station top. Hundreds and hundreds of pins. I try to put in all of the mistakes that I make so that we can all learn from me getting it wrong. And this is a bit of a howler. I'd got the tabletop in the wrong place. So I've got a little bit of a gap. So this is how I went about solving the problem. I routed a rebate all the way along the top, and then cut out, as you'll see in a second, the batten that goes on the edge. Cut the edge of the batten off so that it then fitted nice and snugly. You would not know, to be perfectly honest. There you go, you can see here I'm taking that little piece out in the corner, which I did on the table saw. Took a few attempts to get it right, but once I did, you would not know that I ruined that piece. These are Garibaldi biscuits, known for their strength. More Garibaldi biscuits. These have been dipped in Java coffee for extra strength. If you watch my last video, you will see me make this jig. And this is why I did it, so that I could add hinges to these cabinets. It worked really well. All of the hinges I put on are well within the adjustment range you've got on them, so they all fit reasonably nicely. All the doors, I should say, fit reasonably nicely. You may ask why the door in the corner cupboard here is a sort of a bifold, and that's because the semicircular section underneath the mitre saw would have stopped me putting a separate hinge in. I know, it's weird, but it doesn't work, trust me. So here we go. This is the yet to be done dust extraction port for the middle of the table, and that goes right the way through and into the dust extraction for the mitre saw, and at the other end of the mitre saw, as you'll see here, it goes straight out and into this cupboard, down another elbow, out through the front door and onto the dust extractor. Convoluted or clever, I don't really know. Here we go, this is it. This is the finished varnished complete cabinet. I've yet to work out exactly where I'm going to put everything on the top, but there's plenty of time for that. I've not bolted this mitre saw down yet, but I'm going to use threaded inserts straight into the countertop. But I put this piece in to show you that it nicely clears the full range of the saw, and it should be quite a useful tool once it's finished.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It does help the channel grow. So if you've got any suggestions as to improvements, etc. I can make to this, now's the time to say. So please leave a comment down in the doobly-doo, and we'll have a see what people come up with. There's a lot more to do here yet, so I've got to finish the dust extraction. I'm going to put some cupboards on the walls. There's a power distribution conduit going to go round the top. There's no fence for the mitre station. The storage is not finished in under here. The lathe is missing off the end, and that's to name of the few things I can think of. So there's plenty more to do. So if you've got any thoughts or suggestions, please let me know. I'm really intrigued to see what people can come up with. Anyway, thanks again. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.